well is Gay Sloan. Also right there is Sunquest. Sunquest on the right. We've lost one. It was a bad fall down there at the last.
And we've got a faller. Dark Bay's gone. Dark Bay's gone. Brought down Etienne Gerard. And another's come down as well. Bonfire Hart.
There are two ambulances going around behind you, and the reality of it is you are going to end up in them. I was always of the opinion, I always tried to go with the positive attitude in that I never felt like I was going to get injured. You know, I always thought that no matter how hard I fall, I will get up. Now, I had more falls than anyone else, and I probably had as many injuries as anyone else, so it doesn't work like that. You do get injured, but it probably helps you mentally if you can tell yourself that you're never going to get injured. But it does happen. That's the reality of this job and this sport. It is a dangerous sport, and you have to learn to cope with it and manage it the best you can.
You'll have a few falls and you'll think you're fine because you don't get injured, and then one you'll have and you'll stop and you'll think about it because it's the first one that hurts.
To be told that you weren't going to be able to ride for 6 to 8 months, it's a hard thing to take. I just wanted to get back as quick as I could, like any other jockey would, like any other athlete would really. I just really miss the crack in the weighing room, riding winners and just riding in general.
Probably the only time I ever felt like I could see my life sort of flashing in front of me. When I got a fall on the start, the horse cow kicked me in as it was landing. It just knocked me flying. I got up off the ground, my front teeth fell out.
At first, I think you just kind of tell yourself you're okay, and just because that's what jockeys do, isn't it? Made sure my nose was straight again because it was slightly off to one side. I was determined I was going to ride in the next race. Didn't want it to stop me. You just feel like you don't want to not be okay, and maybe it's a little sign of weakness if you're not. As time went on, I kind of quickly realised that I wasn't.
At the end of the day, jockeys are jockeys, and that they are a great bunch of people, and really enjoy working with them just because of their determination to kind of succeed and get back.
The key with a lot of injuries is as soon as you sort of pick up that there's an issue, get seen by one of the gym team physios or contact one of the rehabilitation centres, because early management can often mean, you know, early return to full fitness. And we can start that accelerated management plan that we try to do with jockeys, because everything's about getting back as soon as possible.
One of the cases that came in here was local flat jockey Jason Hart, who ruptured his ACL in a fall at Wolverhampton. He already had quite a good athletic base. We sat him down, and he was in a point of his career where he was on the up, so it was quite an unfortunate time for him. However, you know, we managed to get some positive mindset out of him in terms of saying, look, this is an opportunity for you to develop physically and come back a better athlete. And he was extremely engaged in the rehab process. He was breaking records on the watt bike in terms of his power output. We had a lot of data on him prior to his injury, and it was quite nice to see that his leg strength, especially around the knee, was much stronger than prior to the injuries.
At the stage in my career I was at, things were kind of going very smoothly, and I was on target to have my best season, really.
I always felt like I always wanted to get back sooner rather than later, because it was always a challenge when I was riding to try and do the best I could, and when I got injured I wanted to make the best of that challenge of getting back as soon as I could. But you got to do what's right for your body, you got to do what's right for your mentally, you got to do what's right. You know, there's no point getting back on a horse if you're not mentally right to get back on a horse.
There's a massive emphasis on the physical sense of well-being, but I think there's still, unfortunately, a taboo around the mental health and the psychological side of injury, and the two really, you know, they're hand in hand.
I felt like I was riding differently. I felt like I was thinking about it all way too much, trying to force things into my riding, which I'd never done before. As I said, when I was confident, I could never really explain what I was doing because it just all happened. I was very relaxed. And after that fall, I never got that back. I always felt like I was trying to force something, trying to do something different.
At the Jetberry House, Danny Haig, who's the strength and conditioning coach, is second to none. He is unbelievably good. Danny and Gemma, the physiotherapist here, they probably got me back quicker than I was really expecting. They had like a program mapped out for me, so I had to be at targets here, there and everywhere kind of thing. The hydrotherapy pro was probably what got me back walking again.
We have strength and conditioning coaches that are available at the rehab centres, and alongside the physios we really try and have a holistic management plan to address, you know, all aspects of injury, fitness and welfare.
I think the importance now of the IJF is hugely significant because you have Oaksey House in Lambourne, you have Jack Berry House, and you're going to have a soon-to-be Sir Peter O'Sullivan House in Newmarket. And those facilities are there to be used, whether it be for mental issues or physical injuries, which a lot of them get used for now. Jockeys should take the opportunity and make the most of them.
Where I had my operation, it was like along my waistline that they opened me up, so my core and everything, it was completely gone. And it's so important to ride, and like you don't realise how actually fit that you are until you have to start from scratch again. Like they strengthen up bits that you just think going running around the roads will keep you fit, but there's plenty more things you can do. So by the time I'm back riding, I think I'll definitely be fitter probably than when I was the first time round.
Everyone should be under pressure, different types of pressure, but you should be under pressure, you know. It kind of helps you through the healing process as well.
At the time I was injured, there was also 2 other jockeys injured. Connor Beasley and George Challoner were also injured at the same time, so we spent a lot of time in here together. It pushed you on a bit more. You were always just competing against each other.
From our side, we've got to kind of sit them down and explain that, and manage their expectations and just explain that, injury can be an opportunity now to really work on some physical qualities that they may not be able to have developed previously due to just the demand of the job being so busy. So we try and flip it on its head and bring a positive out of what might be a negative situation and say, look, you're going to go back a better athlete than you ever were previous to your injury.
Sometimes it seems like you're never ever going to get fit enough, but it's quite a long process, and you've just got to take your time and let it happen.
It's an opportunity to do all sorts of things. Courses with jets, getting yourself fitter and stronger, healthier. If you get injured, the main thing to do with that time that you have off, apart from trying to get back, is using it as an opportunity, really.
Some people are tougher than others with makeup and things like that, but it doesn't matter, and it doesn't make you a worse jockey. Your technical riding ability, because of a fall, doesn't get any worse. The only thing that's holding you back is your head. So if you can fully understand how you're feeling, which I failed to do when I had the fall, if you can fully understand it and control it, you'll be able to control it better. So just don't panic. You don't have to be a jockey. I'm way happier as a person now as I was to when I was a jockey. I feel like I live a much happier life.
I sort of accepted it from the word go, and it's actually gone quite fast. To think that I've been out for almost 4 months now, I haven't seen the time go by. There's no point in worrying about it. What's going to happen is going to happen. There's nothing you can really do. And the main thing is to just sort of not let it get to you, especially if it's an injury that you're going to be out for quite a long time, because otherwise you'll just annoy yourself, and it'll just seem like forever. Keep your chin up and try and not think about it and come back better than you were before.
Relax. It's not the end of the world. There's so much stuff that we can do with you to ensure that, you come back physically, mentally, technically and tactically better than you ever were before. So it's a real unique opportunity now to work hard and, like I say, come back better than you were before your injury.